What up, y'all? Welcome to episode 55 of the What's Up Cuzzo podcast with your two favorite cousins. We got Melly in the building. What up, Melly?
What up? What up? Great to be here, man. What's good?
Oh, my bad. Excuse me. I'm cutting you off, sir.
Oh, you good?
And we got your boy, Marco, in the building. There were some things that came up, and I'll just be upfront and honest on my end. You know, I had some car things I had to get resolved, and I got them just resolved. But I didn't want to not be consistent and give, those who, do take out their time to watch us some content, So we made it work, and we're going to make it work. So we in here. Anyway, so how was your week, Cuzzo?
Well, a successful week. I'm here. We made it.
Man, that's good. Whatever you eat, man, I want some too.
This is my sugar. Get me through the afternoon right part.
Oh, okay. I feel you.
What?
Yeah. So my week was very busy. A lot, going on, but it is what it is. That's how it is sometimes. So anyway, we gonna jump right into it. I'm gonna pull up this video. We'll just run it like that.
New tonight, Fox 5 getting answers about the first true high-speed rail system in America. The timeline for the line connecting Las Vegas to Southern California is set to run 218 miles in the median of Interstate 15. Brightline West tells Fox 5 the train project is now on track to be complete by late 2029. Kim is here with the latest.
Yeah, Joe, work is underway at the site of the future Las Vegas train station off the I-15 near the 215. But Brightline tells us that there is no definite date on the tracks being laid. Tonight, we take a look back at the journey of Brightline West to date.
Back in 2018, Brightline acquired Express West, a local company trying to get a rail project up and running for years that had made some progress with permits. In 2020, the high-speed rail project, then set between Las Vegas and Victorville, was given the okay by California. Caltrans entering a lease agreement allowing Brightline to build in the median of I-15. In June 2021, Brightline announced the company was delaying the project until 2022 due to COVID-19, when travel resumed and with traffic jams nearly every weekend at State Line.
We have to get people out of their cars. So that means finding an alternative way to get to Las Vegas.
In December 2021, then Governor Sisolak met with California Governor Gavin Newsom to discuss expanding the I-15, adding an extra lane on the California side, which Newsom said would be ready within months.
Will be done by this summer, and I'm holding them to account. That's on me.
4 years later, that third lane has never been added, though the shoulder can now be used as a travel lane during heavy traffic. That day, both governors also pledged to bring the Brightline line to fruition to get millions of people off of the road and onto the rails. In 2023, Brightline was given the green light from the federal government. President Biden came to Las Vegas to announce $3 billion in funding for the high-speed line.
Harry Reid, I told you 35 years ago to get this sucker done. We're getting it done. It's on track to be completed by the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles.
Brightline! In April 2024, groundbreaking. And throughout 2024 and 2025, fieldwork was conducted from southern Nevada to southern California in the median of the I-15 and off of the interstate, like in Sloan, just south of the Vegas Valley, at what will be Brightline's vehicle maintenance facility. In October 2025, Fox 5 visited the site of the future train station just south of the Strip, where construction was well underway. Now in 2026, as seen from the Fox 5 drone, the parking garage of the Las Vegas station is quickly taking shape.
And though the goal had once been to have the line up and running by the 2028 Summer Olympics, again, Fox has confirmed that it is now late 2029. Brightline says that right now they are still in the civil construction phase, prepping the I-15 and the land around it. Joe?
All right, Kim, thanks. And the estimate.
So yeah, this is something that as a California person, you should know about, but I'm sure there's people that are outside of California who have heard about this particular project. It sounds like, things were on their way, they got stopped, construction started again, then things happened, then COVID happened, then this happened, and now they have a parking garage, for this rail that's supposed to run from California to Las Vegas, and it's still not complete. And so I had another video for you. I'll still try to find that video, but during this process, from my understanding, and this is, commentary, that people were still getting paid the same amount of money they would get paid to build this particular rail. And so, one, I know the answer to this, but where is the money coming from? You know what I'm saying? Where is the money coming from? The money is coming from the taxpayers. So it's like having a hole in your pocket. You keep putting money in there and it's just falling out. So that's one thing. The money is coming from us. And this is one of those other things, like the reason why I bring this up is because we're talking about Minnesota. We talked about Ohio, how there's fraud in daycares and things like that. But if you look, there's other areas where money that is being used and being spent can be spent and used in other places. And they said 2029 is the date when this high-speed rail is supposed to be finished, and I don't know. It doesn't look promising. I mean, we do have 3 years, but it took you a year plus to get the parking garage done. I don't know that, like, if you do the math, that doesn't add up to completion to me in my mind. It doesn't add up to completion to me, in 3 years, especially with all the other things that they're trying to do. When the Olympics happens, they're trying to, I don't know if they're going to do it with these homeless people. That's something that I've seen them trying to clean up, and they're just moving them out, and they're moving back in, but there's no real solution. So there's a couple of things as to why I don't see this high-speed rail happening, and there's other things that need to be addressed as it relates to funding and where this money went, and how can we better use the resource and the taxpayers' money. Because, I mean, it'll be nice to go from Vegas to LA to Vegas. That'll be dope, like, without having to drive. But what other things out there are needed, by the people? There's other things. Like I said, homelessness is a big one. What are we doing on a larger scale to attack that? There's so many different layers. When you talk about homelessness, you got some people who have mental health issues, and then there's some people out there that don't want it. I'm not talking about them. Those people that don't want housing, I mean, it's nothing really you can necessarily do with those people. But the people that need help and want help, we should be doing something to help those people out. So that's my rant.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we look around the country, all around the country, and we see fraud everywhere. So to me, the money got put in spaces and places that it shouldn't have been. And you give people money just to kind of do projects, and it's like, all right, this is supposed to be this project, but what we're going to do is do this. which is build a parking garage for cars. That's supposed to be for cars when the rail come this way. And that's like probably one fourth of a fourth of a fourth of the real project that's supposed to be completed. You're supposed to be building a damn train, not a damn parking lot. You know, excuse my French when it was English, but it's just kind of like, yeah, you stole taxpayers' money and you didn't do what you were supposed to do. Now that it's pushed back to 2029, I don't think it's going to happen in 2029 either. So, I mean, it's unfortunate that, you know, in this day and age and time, you have to watch. I wouldn't say it's fraud, but you'd have to watch what they would call fraud if it was me or you or anybody else, you know, doing a job. And it's like that job doesn't get done, but you still get paid. Like, what is that called? I don't know if that's stealing. I don't know if that's racketeering. You know, I'm not the smartest, but I'm not the dumbest. You know, that's why I ask questions. And, you know, the question I'm asking is, you know, who's to be held responsible for this? You know, what are the terms and the trigonometry they're using at this point in time to sit up here and give the story that they're giving? And they expect people to be okay with it or happy with it. And most people will. Most people will listen to it and then say okay, and then just let it glaze them over to where they're not even paying attention. So hopefully one day we'll get some type of high speed, some type of train, because as you said before, that would have been cool. You know, I could sit back, you know, and get to Vegas in 2 hours or an hour and a half instead of 4 or 6, you know. And it's weird too. I watch, you know, other countries like China, you know, they can build a whole skyscraper, you know, in a lot quicker time than we building this rail system. You know, they have high speed rail systems there already. You know, I've seen it. So it's just kind of like, okay, what's taking us so long? We don't have the technology. Do we not have, you know, the proper framework? Do we not have enough, you know, people to do the work in construction, which I believe that is. We don't have enough people to do the work to get the project completed in the time that it needs to be completed. A lot of people take that stuff for granted too, because all the construction workers that you would normally see do a job, they don't have enough. It's not enough. You know, building a train, you gotta figure, you know, back in the, what was it, the early 16, 17, 1800s, when they were starting to build trains, they needed a lot of people. Like whole generations of people had to build that train, you know, and take on that project. Now it's a little bit different because, yeah, you have technology, but it still takes a lot to build massive amounts of train tracks. You got to do a lot of research, you know, development, you know, for the areas that you're going through. I'm pretty sure they have a lot of information, but you still don't know what's going to happen in all elements in the situations. I mean, there's many different things that you have to do in terms of, you know, local weather, you know, the modifications of that. What does that look like? I mean, there's a lot of things that you have to go through. You can't just say, oh, this is a nice idea. Okay, I'm going to give you money and we're going to build it. No, that's not how you do it. It's not how it goes. But again, you know, I'm not the expert, but I'm just talking out loud. That's why we had this podcast called the What's Up Cousin podcast. So we can talk about it. Just two regular guys. I don't know much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we'll see. You know, kind of like you said, we'll see if 2029 comes around and we have a high speed rail. I mean, not only would it be cool to actually, get there in a short amount of time, but it'd also be cool not to have to drive. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you don't necessarily have to drive. You could always fly. You know, but I mean, I think the train is a good experience. Like you're able to, I guess I don't know how much it is to see. Coming from LA to Las Vegas. I've seen it, but I've been in the car. There's a couple places I like to stop at, and they probably won't stop at those places. So I don't know if I really care about the scenery, but I mean it's cool. I've been on the train once or twice. Once as an adult, and then multiple times. I think my mom told me as a kid, and I think it's I enjoyed the travel time. I probably wouldn't go as far as I went before, but to Vegas, hey, that'll be dope. But anyway, on to the next topic. So I know this is going around, man, a lot. People have a lot to say about this particular topic. Man, I heard that Twitter was down or X is down, so that was my go-to, but I don't have it right now. So I'm gonna go to YouTube and we're gonna play another video. Let's see.
I had somebody in the congregation ask why I'm wearing Christian Dior and Christian Louboutins. Because I'm a Christian and I walk in the blood of Jesus. Give him some praise. I'm a Christian first and I walk in the blood of Jesus. Give him some praise. Give him some praise. I had somebody in the congregation ask why I'm wearing Christian Dior and
So I know that's a little short skit, but I know you guys have all seen this. I thought it was hilarious. You know what I'm saying? Just me, I'm a believer too. But it was hilarious. I mean, I'll let you go first, cuz I'll hop in there, man.
Yeah, I thought it was funny, man. I thought it was funny because it was true. A lot of these I want to say modern day mega churches, these modern day reality TV churches, these modern day hot box and cereal churches. And I say it that way because it's like you see a new one pop up online every other day. And they're all doing something like this, dressed in Louis Vuitton, Christian Dior, and it's just kind of like, okay. And it's like I'll see clips here and there. You see dudes getting a hair. I seen a dude getting a haircut on stage before.
Right.
I don't know. I seen a dude eating food or something, man. It was just like every time I see, stuff like this, I see the pastors with the fits and the just custom clothing, and it's just like it's all for entertainment and it's self-indulgence, and it's wrapped in what they call prosperity preaching. Some of it is, but even that gives prosperity preaching a bad name, because I agree with prosperity preaching. But just kind of seeing this skit, it's like, man, yeah, I've seen that before. I've seen that before. What he just said, I've seen that before. So it's just kind of like you can laugh at it because you've seen it all before. Art imitates life, or life imitates art. And people that are mad about it are always trying to make it something that it's not. I'm not making fun of God. I'm not making fun of Jesus or Christ. I'm making fun of these preachers walking around, faking like they're actually doing something for God, and they're doing something for themselves. They're lining their pocket and they up there faking the funk while you guys are watching and giving y'all money to this person, and they just stealing right in your face every Sunday. And you come back and give them more and give them more because you are made to be motivated and feel good in this moment. And I can look in this Bible and make you feel like this is what it says, but it actually says something else. Or this is what it says, but it actually says something else. I'm interpreting what I want you to interpret based on my words and what I'm saying. I am shepherding what I want you to shepherd, per se, So what I say, goes based on what God says. And this is what God says. And that's what people say, oh, okay, that sounds right. That sounds good. And it was like I seen a post the other day. Most people don't read above, what do they say, a 5th grade level, 8th grade level. So a lot of times when people read stuff, they don't know what they're reading, or they can't interpret, what's happening or what's being said or what it's meant to say. And a lot of times when you listen to preachers, it's like, okay, is that what you think that say? I don't believe it says that, but okay, we'll let you go with that, So whatever you theologize, that's what people, idolizes. And seeing that, it just made me laugh, and I was just like, yep, that's it. Hopefully people see it now. Hopefully people see it now, because it just looks retarded. But it's the truth, So that's my spiel.
Yes, sir. Yeah, my bad. So yeah, you said a lot of good things as well. You know what? I would say I don't really have a problem necessarily with the stuff. You know what I mean? That they have and that they get, depending. It all depends. How they got it. But I know my pastor. He's had like he had a job pretty much most of the time he was my pastor, and he made good money. He made like over $100,000. So, and that was, probably like maybe 6-7 years ago. So, which was, still a decent amount of money. Now, you're kind of on that's kind of on the borderline, but like he had the right, to buy what he wanted, to drive nice cars and things like that. But I think my problem is that, people had an issue with him showing some of the sides of some of the people who aren't, that may not be doing it the right way. Um, you know, I think some of the things have gotten out of hand, because I know they want to bring things down to a human level and to depict things in a way so somebody could fully understand. Because, like you said, people have, I guess this is a reason, I don't know for sure, but people don't read as well, and so they want to kind of like bring it down to a human level to where like people could actually see it played out. But I think that sometimes they go too far. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the things a little out the way, like kind of like he, flew in there, tied to wire. Like I've seen that. I've seen a guy actually do that. Like, what are we doing here? Like what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Um, I think that bringing it, to a level where people can understand it is a good thing, but there's boundaries. Like there's a story in the Bible where it talks about this blind man and God spit in some clay, rubbed in his hands and wiped it on the man's eyes, and he could see. And I actually saw that the other day. Somebody actually, do that, doing their sermon. Had a guy come up there, spit in his hands for real, and wiped it on this dude's face. Like, hold on, man. Like, hey, pastor, I ain't signing up for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's going a little too far. You know, like, and then you know, it was some other things. You know, you do have some crooked, you know, people out there where it's a business. You know, like, you know, God tells you to, you know, there are some things that he tells you to do, right? He doesn't tell you to give Tim, you know, thousands of dollars if you don't have it. You know, he does say give a tenth. You know, he does say give from your heart. He, you know, so the only really requirement he says, you know, like give a tenth of what you earn, you know. But on the other part, like he's like there's you give from what your heart. Now, if a man is telling you to give outside of that and or you won't be blessed, I think that's out of line. You know, and then we talked about it before, man, this building fund that we have that never goes to the building. You know, the building is still in shambles. The roof is still leaking. You know, the chairs are still, you know, falling to the side. You know, the armrests are off. You know that, and we still haven't got nothing fixed. You know, the name on the front is falling off. You know, it's uh, uh, instead of Zion is Ion. You know, like like what are we doing here? You know, like what's up with that? So for those people who are mad that he did this, one is comedy too. Like, come on, people. Like it's okay to make fun of people that you may think it's okay to make fun of, but when he makes fun of somebody who, you know, of a pastor, you know, or of the church, like you're not okay with that. Like he wasn't blaspheming God or anything. Like he was depicting what he saw, you know, like to your point, like that suit he had on, somebody had it on, you know. So yeah, that's what I think, you know, went down. I mean, like I said, it was funny to me. You know, let us know what you guys think inside of the comments. Yeah, so let me see. I was trying to give me like a few seconds here. I was trying to pull up another topic. Give me a few seconds, guys. Give me a few seconds. What I'll do, I'll play the audio of this video. Hopefully you can hear it. Let's see. I wish you could see it. I'll just have to add it to the video so you can see it, so you can see her. Let's see. Actually, let me see if Rap House TV is on YouTube. Uh, I guess he doesn't have that one on here. Oh yeah. Oh, that's crazy because I thought the same thing. You know what? I'll just play it and then we'll go from there.
Somebody reach out. I pay too much money for my upkeep to be having free conversations. I had somebody reach out to me. They have been reaching out to me in my DMs, and I was kind of ignoring it, just leaving them on red because I'm not interested. And today they consistently message me, and so I said, okay, I'll answer. This morning I had a shampoo appointment, and so I answered, and they were like, "Am I disturbing you?" And I said, I don't converse with men that I don't know. And they said, well, let's change that. And I said, well, I'm actually on the way to go get my hair done. You gonna contribute to that? It's in a long paragraph asking me to explain why they should do that. And they said now they understand the kind of woman that I am, on and on and on. And I said, no problem. No worries. Have a good day. I feel like this. I keep my nails done, keep my toes done. So nails, toes every month. I get my hair done every month. This is a luxury style. I keep my hair up, right? So getting my hair done every month. Nails, toes, hair. I own my home. I got an acre of land. I have to get my grass cut. I get my yard work done by myself. All of that is covered by myself. I have a nice body. I get that done in the gym. I have a gym membership. I clothe my nice body with nice clothes. And so I have to go shopping. And I wear makeup, which I enjoy. And in the comments, I don't care what you got to say about makeup, but I also spend money on that. And so to keep this up, I also eat on a meal plan that I have created. And so for that meal plan, I have to go grocery shopping to eat off of the meal plan that I have created. And so all of this takes money. All of this takes money to upkeep this. And so why am I having free conversations? And it is okay. It is okay if you don't feel the way that I feel and you are having free conversations. But I think about this, especially if you're messaging me when I'm on the way to an appointment where I'm about to spend hundreds of dollars to get my hair washed, and I'm continuing to have this appointment where I'm spending $100 on myself, and you're interested in me? No, I don't have free conversations. And I implore you, if you are a woman who takes great care of herself and does great things for herself and keeps herself up, think about whether you're having free conversations. I treat my phone like it still has minutes and you're not using mine up. That's it. Love you. Bye.
All right, let me see if I could show her. No, it won't let me show her. Yeah. So were you able to understand what she was saying?
Yeah, I could hear what she was saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Cuzzo, about the whole get down? Like, dude slid in her DMs and she's like, hey, should men pay money to talk to women? To have a conversation.
She only said that because she wasn't interested. So because he was persistent, and she felt like, okay, if I'm going to give you my time, then you're going to pay for it. So that's what I got from that.
Okay. But you hear that often though, with how women, like we've seen what women said, you have to pay a deposit to go on a date with me and things like that. So
they only say that to guys that they don't like, or to guys they don't have access to, or they have access to, and the ones that they want and don't have access to, they're not coming at them like that. It's simple. They feel like they are a tier above, or they feel like they're on another level. So if I'm going to stoop down to your level, as they think, then you're going to pay for it. You're going to pay for me to come down to that level and spend time with you peasants. That's that mindset, and which is cool, which is good. That's the way you feel. Okay, I'll leave you alone. And you can continue to pay for it yourself.
Right.
And just be by yourself. And then you'll end up giving it to somebody that really doesn't deserve it.
So do you think that, just say if it is a man who she likes, so you're saying you don't think that she'll make him pay for these things eventually, or something that she'll
not up front. No. And if she do get that treatment, then it's just kind of like you're not going to be the only one. So just understand that with that type of mentality, you want the type of guy that you want. You're not going to be the only one. They have options, just like you have options, and the options that you are looking for and want, they're not going to be the ones that you truly desire for yourself. So that's just, what it comes down to.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. That's definitely a valid point, that guy, she probably didn't like. And obviously she's kind of alluded to it. She said that, she kind of like just left it alone, when he hit her in her DMs. But I mean, I think this is I know epidemic is usually used for, diseases and things like that. But I think this mentality is something that a lot of modern day women use. I'm not sure where this came from. And yes, you feel like, a man, provides certain things, to a woman, you know, um, but we also hear from the other side of it where, men do spend their money and then these women, use them, they, have them in their phone, labeled as, good time only, you know what I'm saying? Like, or food, or, bills or whatever, like they may not have your real name in there. Like, hey, I would say, hey, call me right now to see what you got my day saved as, you know what I'm saying? So I can see. But, I saw this one girl, she's like, oh, if you take me out on a date, you have to pay for this, and this. And she was showing herself put on all this makeup, and the cost of the makeup was showing up on the screen and adding up, and it was like probably like 300 or something bucks, So if I spend this, then you need to pay, pay for some of it, or pay for something. And it's like, that mindset is dangerous, because men are not gonna take you out if like, and the men that you want, the men that you want may or may not take you out, but you may not even qualify for that man. So the men that you actually qualify for are not gonna spend that type of money on you. There may be some tricks out there, you know what I'm saying? Maybe some tricks out there, but men are not spending money, just to take you out. I seen this one guy asked the girl, hey, like, they pulled up, and she's like, hey, you gonna pay for my babysitter? Like, and when he got there, like, not beforehand or not anything, so they agreed to it. No, are you gonna pay for my babysitter? Like, no, we didn't agree to that. And the way you and this is our first day, and the way you coming at me, like, this is, that's a good thing, I guess, for men, because they see what type of woman she is, but I just think it's crazy. And this girl with the makeup, like, what, like, I'm supposed to pay for that you're probably going to use when you go out with the guy that you like. So I'm paying for your time for however much it is, this $300 something, and then you're not going to have the guy that you like, kind of like you said, pay for this, when you go out, which is crazy. So I just think that, it's a problem, and this is how these women are, are today, leading, not leading with trying to get to know somebody and trying to, build a relationship, and, and see where things go. No, they're like, hey, I need that money up front. And guess what? If you never with nobody, like, who's gonna take care of it? Like, are you not adult? Are you not gonna take care of yourself? Are you not going to go out with your friends and use the same makeup that you want me to pay for? Like I think I might have said this before. Are you paying for my haircut? You paying for me to wash my car that I'm picking you up in? You paying for gas that I'm driving you in? No, you're not. And I know the man is expected to do that, but the man is not asking you to do these things, is what I'm trying to say. So I just think it's it's crazy. And like I said, y'all, y'all women might come for me, because y'all might, think I'm wrong, but hey, it is what it is. That's my opinion and I'm sticking to it. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see if I could send this video to myself. I guess we'll just kind of discuss it. But did you were you able to watch the Corey Holcomb, Anton Daniels interview at all? You muted.
I saw a little bit of it when they started to get each other's face. I didn't really watch the. Excuse me, I didn't watch any. Yeah, I didn't watch. Yeah, I told you, man. End of the day, I didn't watch anything really leading up to that. Just in that moment, maybe about 30 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to like get the actual video, and then I like to have it offline because I didn't want anybody trying to block me like the lunch ladies on The View did, Disney, how they did me.
Right.
But what do you think about like the part that you saw? Like what actually part did you so you saw the part you said like right before they got in each other's face, or when Corey got in his face, or you saw?
Yeah, right before it. I mean, it was just insults going back and forth.
Okay.
And it's just kind of like, okay.
Huh. Yeah, I kind of I saw like from the very beginning, and I think that part of the problem is that one, they're on two different sides, so there's always going to be kind of like a clash when there's differences. But they also had they're in two different tiers. Like you got one guy who seems more polished, more professional, things like that, has businesses. And then you have like, Corey, who's a comedian. He kind of like speaks to, man, I don't know if I should say this or not, speaks to the lower tier of people, like, mentally, like if you like, I'll just say this, if you want to like hear him talk crap about somebody, or if you feel like, him talking about somebody, or if you want to laugh, then, you watch his show.
Mentally deranged people. I mean, he likes to talk about that he's real and he's going to tell the truth. And I get that to a certain extent. Everything he says, can be said to be truthful to a certain extent. How he says it in his delivery, is tolerable. As you said, he's a comedian, but when he goes on his rants, sometimes it's a little uneasy to watch because it's like I understand what he's doing. He's trying to go viral, and he may say he's not. I'm just talking and telling it like it is. Well, I mean, there's a way you can do that, getting on your soapbox every week and, talking about this person, talking about that person, calling it like you see it. I get it. Some of the stuff I see and the people he call out, I agree with. Some of the stuff I see and some of the stuff I hear him say, like this past situation, I don't agree with. I didn't agree with it. I don't believe you invite someone on your show, whether you agree with the individual or not, and kind of bait that individual into going back and forth in terms of having a sparring match. I think that right there is the lowest form of podcasting or media you can have, because it's just like Zeus Network. It's just like, any other thing you see with girls throwing drinks and fighting,
Right.
Online. That's just what it reminded me of. So when I see that, it's like, yeah, I don't want to, bring that into my sphere of my energy field, my thought process. So I'd rather not watch it because it doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't offer any solution, or it doesn't offer any entertainment. It doesn't give me any type of anything but an uneasy feeling. You got two people that you see and respect, and to have this interaction, you would think, yeah, you would want to think highly and better of them because that's what you saw, but that's not what I saw. So, in that instance, I lost a little bit of respect for them, but they are who they are. So they'll continue to be who they choose to be, and that's okay. You on mute.
Yeah, no, I was muted. Yeah, I it kind of, that's why I kind of want to play a video so we can kind of go like frame by frame, but I don't want to be, biased at all, in my opinion. But I do follow both of them. I listen to Anton, I would say more so because he is he does his comedic stuff. He's funny in his own way, you know what I mean? But he also has a lot of insight on, growth and things like that. He has, he does real estate, he invests in the stock market, he talks about topics like that. So that's why I tap into him, for, Corey, not as much because like I said, it's just like, the conversations are not intellectual or intelligent or something that I should listen to help move me forward. It's just if I want to laugh or, I want to hear like literally want to hear him talk about somebody like, and he says some egregious stuff. Like he talks about women like crazy. Like he says some crazy things, and that's when I tap into, listen to him and to, know he was on the show. I had no idea, that was going to happen. It was, you could tell it was getting tense as they were having a conversation. And some would say that, Anton said something that was out of the way to him. That's Anton, kind of like said something about him giving fellatio, to the Black community. And, they're I think they missed something, they missed Corey escalated things. He raised his voice, which a lot of times, like when you raise your voice, like if you raise your voice at me, like I kind of like look like, hold on, like what's going on? Like, do I need to defend myself? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, do I need to like look out for you? Like, what's going on? Why are you raising your voice? Like, that's anywhere. Like if you're in a store or something and you hear somebody like yelling loudly, like you look because you're wondering like what's going on. So that's the part where that's when I see things start to escalate, that, he raised his voice initially. And then he said, you kissing the ass of white man. Like, bro, like, you don't think that was insulting? Like, if you say kiss my ass or you kissing somebody's ass, that's insulting to me. But I guess he said so many crazy things that wasn't necessarily insulting, an insulting thing to him. And people that I hear react to this, they're pretty much not saying, they don't believe that's insulting. They always start at the part where, he said, oh, you sucking the dick. He didn't say you suck dick. You know what I'm saying? He said you're sucking the dick of white man because he said you kissing ass. So guess what? We gonna be down there together. If you say I'm kissing ass, then you in the front and I'm in the back. And I see what he was doing. Like you started it, so guess what? I'm gonna take it to the ultimate level. And that whole like interaction where he like got up, like, let me move, move Darlene, let me, like, that's, I don't know, that seemed like it was show to me, because, I remember when I was a kid, and I maybe not got in too many fights. I'm a big dude, but there was some altercations that I was getting into, and there was some fake altercations I got into, like, and I've seen some fake altercations, and I mean fake altercations in the sense of, people are up in each other's face, and you're like, "Hey, push me again, push me again, push me again," and then guess what? Y'all nothing end up happening because nobody pushed the other one. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it reminded me of. And then sometimes you have like somebody throw something, somebody push them into each other, then it might start. But like, why does people have to like? Why did he have to say it again for you to do something? If he was gonna do something, he was gonna do something. If blows are gonna be thrown, blows were gonna be thrown. And it's like, and I understand from the point of view, like, okay, like you don't want to mess up your platform. I get that, like you're at an older age, so some thought has to go into this, like, let me not blow up everything. And so he said, hey, let's go outside. Let's take it outside, um, handle this, and then we come back and then be, let it be like gentlemen. We apologize and move forward. And I can't say that was a regular thing that I did, because like I said, I didn't get to a whole lot of altercations, but I know what it is. There was a guy on my basketball team when I was in college, and we got into it. Like, hey, bro, like we could get down if you want to. Let's go. We go in the locker room, like, hey, we get down, we come back out here, we good. But like he didn't want to do that. He sat down. I don't know what thought process he was going through. I don't know if he, because they think that Anton is a square, like he's an L7, and he'll tell you that, but like, you don't know everybody's story. You just see the polished outward appearance of who he is, but you don't know his story. You don't know what he's been through, his whole get down. You don't know any of that. You're just assuming. And so I don't think Corey thought that he was gonna, rebut. I think Corey was trying to punk him. That's what I really think what happened. And so, but it backfired. Like, hey, like, let me sit my ass down. So let me play this off. Like, let me see. Actually, I might have let me see, download anyway. Yeah, so he sat down, I was like, oh man, like, and once he sat down, it kind of seemed like, Anton kind of like started to tear into him. Then like he started to go like, he saw blood like a shark. And overall, the conversation wasn't even really, I don't think it was really fair, because the levels of intellect, I don't claim to be the greatest scholar. I think I could converse with certain people. But I mean, I don't know, that there's some people who are way more informed than I am, that are more knowledgeable than me, that speak a lot better than I do. I like to be comfortable when I talk, so I might say a lot of slang, and I might not care that you're there, but I also can speak intelligently as well. As you can tell, I'm doing it right now. I'm just playing, but yeah, it's a switch I could use. But that conversation that they were having, they were in two different levels, because Anton was giving him game on certain things, and instead of, like you said, allowing him to speak and allowing him to share, his point of view, and then interjecting, so much, it was a problem. Like, it became a problem because you were trying to throw this particular narrative on things, and it turned left, for lack of better words. So and then let me see if let me see, the video is done downloading. Let me see if I could. Let me see, video file. Oh, here we go.
new niggas. All of these internet niggas right here, these is new niggas.
So are you saying black people in the United States, some of them have skipped over racism?
Yes, definitively.
Come on, man.
Definitively. You have a greater chance of being killed by somebody that look like you than to ever interact with somebody that don't look like you and kill you.
But do you
That's a
understand,
fact.
Do you understand that it's made like that on purpose? The position
It's the system.
that-
The system
position
against
that-
us. I got it.
Okay, but the position you and your people are in.
Who is my people?
Black people. Do you claim black people?
I'm a Christian first. I claim.
Well, I think something's wrong with that. If you don't want to say you're a black man first, I think something wrong with
Black
that.
is a construct. They told you that you was black.
Okay, well,
that's why
brown-
you start
brown
believing it.
then.
No.
Maybe
We
I'm
not
brown.
brown. We not black. We not none of that shit.
Oh, well, what are we?
We not none. For me, I'm a believer in God. That's what I am. My foundation is always going to be Christianity, Christ, Jesus first. I don't claim none of that other shit. You're not gonna get me to believe in you based off of some shit that you can't control. You didn't pick it. And the thing about other cultures, whether you're black, Chinese, Asians don't fuck with each other just because they're Asian. Chinese people and Japanese people and Taiwanese people, they're all different. Koreans are different. All white people don't fuck with all white people. So why do I have an obligation to fuck with somebody just because he black?
Okay.
And then the definition of how you define black is based off of something that a white man gave to you.
Okay, well, trust me, brother. I tell you what, I really don't study.
Christianity was given to you as well.
Where do you get hate from?
Yeah, I have I did some like research on that, and Christianity, we know that as the Bible talks about, it was over, in the Middle East when, Christianity was established, or, and so, it's a possibility we learn that particular, religion from our ancestors, so I'm go ahead, say what you're gonna say.
No, I was asking, when was that? I mean, ancestors can go back 1 generation, 2 generations.
Well, as far as like in Ethiopia, first century, the 4th century, is when it was in Ethiopia, and so which would have been long before, supposedly white individuals brought us over here and taught us, about that particular religion.
Right. Which is the Christianity that the Crusades brought to America, right? When they was going through that 1,000-year war between, Muslims and Christianity. So that's what I'm talking about. That's the Christianity he talking about. What Christianity is he speaking about? He talking about he not black. Okay, what Christianity are you talking about? From where and when? Because the Christianity you talk about is the one that was given to you here in America. Oh, you on the? That's a nice angle right there.
Yeah, you see it?
Yeah, that's a nice angle right there. You in yoga class now, cuzzo?
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think what he was saying is that he doesn't want to be tagged as a black man, like just being black. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's kind of why he was saying that. And this is stuff that I know because he talks about it. That all people don't mess with people just because of their color, their skin color.
Right.
It's more of, are we going in the same direction? Do we believe the same things? Are some of the same things? Do we have the same mindset or similar mindsets? So you know, like you mentioned, the Asian people, you know, you have some white people who are, you know, I don't want to say lower tier, but you know, you have some people that they refer to themselves as white trash. You know what I'm saying? Like that's reality. And you got some black people who who we know we consider ghetto. And we got some Asian people like that other Asian people don't mess with. Like what's crazy is that, you know, being involved with somebody who's of a different culture, like they be fighting amongst each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, my cousin got into a fight with my brother. Like, what? Like, what is going on? It's like a regular thing. I'm like, why are we doing that? You know what I'm saying? Why are we fighting each other? Oh, and then I see you come with a black eye. Like, why you have a black eye? Like, oh, my brother hit me. Like what is going on? And it's not just one or two. It's like across the whole family. You know what I'm saying? Or across families. You know, I'm just like, it's crazy. So I think that's more what he was saying, and I think, you know, it kind of, you know, Corey got kind of triggered, because of, you know, what he said. Let me pull this back up. Yeah, I think he got triggered because I think Corey is from the mindset of like, you know, I'm trying to save black people, and you know, the white man is against us, and things like that. We can't, you know, move further in life because, you know, we're black, and you know, we're, you know, and I get there may be some things that we don't necessarily there's some things that we may be still fighting. I'll say that, you know, but overall, I mean, I have a pretty good job, you know, like nobody said, you know, I can't work here because I'm a certain color. You know, nobody, you know, it's about the skill that I have is the reason why I have this job, and I think that's the sentiments that he's you know, saying, you know. So I want to I know you got to cut out,
and then I was on the internet.
Move forward real quick.
Letitia James.
Let me see.
You didn't know that?
I'm a straight up by our parents. We were taught by our parents. We were taught by our parents that we vote Democrat no matter what, right? Regardless of what they stand for, regardless of the agendas that they push, regardless of how much nonsense that we see in our communities, regardless of how many Democrats actually destroyed our cities from Chicago to Detroit, all across the board. We were taught to vote that no matter what. You vote Democrat no matter what.
I agree.
But this is the difference between the parties on a very fundamental level, not complicated at all.
Really? You finna say there's a difference between the parties?
This is the difference.
I can't wait to hear this.
No. You may say that it's the same type of public politicians that take advantage of the taxpayers and take advantage of the people. The difference in the parties historically is Republicans want less government so you can do what the fuck you want to do. And Democrats want more control, so they want to control what your money is, where your tax dollars go, and what you can do with your money.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you this.
That's the fundamental difference.
I'm gonna tell you.
You muted.
What you think about that?
That's true. I mean, that's true in a vague sense of what he said. Yeah, that's the fundamental difference. I get what Corey, you know, his sentiment is saying, like, it's the same thing. It's no different. But, you know, it's a difference in terms of, like he just explained, like, we want less government so we can do what we want to do. And of course, they can take more of the money and buy more of this and control it more. And the Democrats want more people poor so people can depend more on the government so they can control it that way. So it's just different ways of controlling people, pretty much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let me say this one part right here.
Because you like to use a blanket statement. That's like me saying all black people are stupid.
Well, have you said all white people stupid?
No, I'm talking about cops.
You should say that one time.
I'm talking about
because
cops.
it's easy to say all black people are stupid as an example. Say something about the white people.
No. You're not. I don't think you got people all the time.
Well, I didn't hear you. Can you tell me? Because I don't know.
Liberal white women literally being The biggest enemy of the United States of America. That's the thing I say every single day.
Caucasian female, the biggest enemy.
Literally, white liberal women are the worst thing that ever happened to this country.
What about their men?
But we gonna get there because you keep trying to get me to qualify it by participating and joining in on the core.
No, I think you're doing what's easy.
No. I'm doing what's real.
I think you don't want to go against them because if you go against them, it'll be some video of you going against them. And when I say them, I'm talking about your boss.
I don't have a boss.
We say that. We say that, but here's the truth.
I don't have a boss.
It's a reason you go after black males or black people quicker than you will go after white males. What are white males responsible for in this country as the downfall of it?
I'm an equal accountability smoke giver. I talk about everybody.
I'm just saying, I ain't heard you talk about white men since you've been up here.
You ain't been listening. You ain't been listening.
So first he initially tried to say like, hey, like, you don't talk about white people.
Corey out here baiting, bro. That's all he doing. He baiting and he trying to press the agenda of the show. As you can see it, like he on some other stuff right now. I mean, that's his show. That's his show. It's 5150. We about to get crazy.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's
what it is. We about to get crazy. Nothing. We're gonna talk about some things, but nothing's gonna come out of it. No solutions. No. Hey man, I respect what you said. I respect what you said at the end. No, we're gonna do what we do and hate each other after this.
Well, we already crazy, you know what I'm saying? So you let you know you coming into crazy territory. You know what I'm saying? So be ready.
There you go.
And I think kind of what Anton kind of said is he also said that, you know, with the whole, you know, black people don't mess with all black people. He also said that, you know, black people could be some of the most racist people, you know, in the world, and the word racist. Some people say that, you know, the argument is that you can't be racist, you know, if you don't have power, you know, but basically the hatred of another person is what essentially is trying to be conveyed, and I can't say that I, you know, like thinking back, you know, and listening to you know, people in other black communities, you know, I can't say that I don't disagree with that, because you'll hear people say, oh yeah, I don't like that cracker, or you know what I'm saying, they'll say like, oh, I don't know, I just hear hate speech. I was trying to think of some things that I hear, but there's things that there'll be hate speech. Oh, if that white person, you know, like I'll hear a lot of stuff like that, you know, and I get that there's a history, you know, of this behavior, but again, the mindset is that to move forward, like the freedoms that we have are way more, I should say, than the freedoms that our people before us had. And so why are we trying to pretend like it's the same way as it used to be? Like we're out in the fields picking cotton, and you know, we're you know, living in this shack, you know, together with our families, and we don't eat, and we're still getting whipped. Like that's the kind of thing that they're kind of making it seem like we made a lot of progress. I mean, of course, it's not as much progress as some want, and I mean, we still got work to do, you know, as a people. You know, this is something that I've talked to about many people, is that, you know, other people from other cultures, they have a culture like to pull from, like, but we've been separated from, you know, our what people say, you know, whether we were already here, indigenous people, or whether we came from, you know, Africa, we've been separated from our true culture in America, because that's where we are. We're Americans. So we don't have a culture in Africa anymore, because we've been separated for that. If we come from Africa, and then the people over here, we don't necessarily know what it was like. So like, what is our culture as a brown, or, you know, black, as they label us, person in America? I don't think we necessarily have one, or have an identity. You know, we could look and point to things like, you know, oh yeah, rap music is our culture, or, you know, certain fashion is our culture, you know, certain food is our culture. Those are things, but like, we don't necessarily really have a thing to hang our hat on. That's just in my opinion. And so I know I'm going off on a tangent, but yeah, that's my thoughts. So
I've been listening to you.
No, you haven't.
I hear you
You
too.
don't have the capacity to be able to listen because you're too busy.
No. You got me wrong.
You too busy.
My capacity, that you just criticized, that's an opinion. Here's the fact. Have you said something about Caucasian males and how they destroy this nation? Well, what did I miss?
Let's slow down because you talking loud, but you're not saying a lot.
No, you talking
you talking loud,
and you still talking around. What did the Caucasian male do to America to bring it down?
I'm not getting into that.
You dancing around it.
No,
and that's why I lose respect for you when you start dancing and kissing Caucasian males' ass.
But I don't.
That's what I'm talking about. So like you're having a conversation.
Yeah,
and then you start throwing out, you start getting loud, and then you start throwing out, insults.
Right.
And so how do you expect a man to respond to that? And I think again that he thought Anton wasn't going to stand down, but we'll see. I mean, he thought Anton was going to stand down and not respond, but Anton takes it up like 20 notches.
Don't do that in front of me because I'm not an ass kisser of nobody.
Yes, you are. You suck the dick of black people right now. You doing the easy shit. What you do, let me tell you what you do.
Nah, let me tell you something, homie.
Ain't nobody gonna tell you.
I don't suck dick.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
So fix
You doing
that.
it right now.
I don't suck dick, homie.
You doing it right now.
Homie, believe me when I tell you. I don't
Believe me
do
when
that.
I tell you.
I don't do that.
Listen.
So don't come at me with no dick sucking shit.
I'm gonna give you the same energy you give me.
Let's switch seats. Let's switch seats. I'm with it, homie. I don't do no dick sucking shit. I'm a motherfucking man. I don't do no dick sucking shit, homie.
I don't give a fuck about none of
Well, I tell you
right
what.
now.
Watch that dick sucking shit, because that'll go bad.
Call it what you want.
I don't do no.
So
this is a test right here. This is a test your level and see how far you want to take it.
Right.
This is what this is. This is two old gorillas beating their chest in the jungle to see, who really about that life. He didn't like what he said. He didn't like how it made him feel.
Right.
He didn't like how what he said felt, how it made him look on his own show. Let me say that.
That's a fact.
So that's why he got upset about that. But then 2 seconds earlier, you're gonna tell me I was kissing white man's ass. Well, that's totally disrespectful. You don't tell another black man that because you feel some type of way in the moment and you want to bait me into saying something so you can then go back later and have a clip. Because you even said it. Oh, well, they're gonna have a clip of you saying this or that because you don't want your bosses to get involved or whatever. Why would you do that to another so-called black man if you for black people?
That, bro.
Whether
Sure.
whether you agree with them or not, whether you brought them on there for entertainment or not, like why would you let the public see that? Like, okay, this is how we take them down. This is simple and easy. We can always get these dudes to fight one another. All we got to do is say this, that, and the other, and then they're going to be fighting each other. It's the same stuff over and over. But like I said, if this is the reason why you were doing it, then okay, cool. You got what you wanted. You got what you needed. But if you were thinking something else and you made a mistake, it went a way that you didn't think it was going to go.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
And I think that people, that follow him don't really see this as didn't see what he said as disrespect, and he didn't see it disrespect. So I think that comment that Anton made kind of took him off guard. But like, bro, like you said, like what do you expect? Like that was for sure disrespect.
Yeah, you're gonna tell me I kiss white man's ass? Well, you suck the dick of black people. You telling me I'm taking the easy road? You taking the easy road?
That's
you doing whatever people feel like you should be saying right now. That's what you saying.
Yep, you pandering to black people, and you're not really trying to move them forward. You're not doing anything that will help move them forward.
You pander too. It's easy for you to sit on this side and criticize the other side because you're not on the other side. They don't want you on the other side. So you back where you are, and now you could, pander to the people that's on this side with you and not on the
That's
other
a fact.
side. And that
That's
can
a
be
fact.
Hollywood, that can be whatever. You'll get these low level appearances or shows, and you gotta live that type of lifestyle. You don't have the upper echelon of stuff. Yeah, you can stand in the same room with those guys, but they're not gonna bring you to where they are, because you're not gonna engage in whatever they engage in to stay where they at. And we all know what that is. So now
That's a
you got to
fact.
fight for the scraps down here with everybody else. So now you're going to try to trick other people out of their spots because, you bitter. You're not better, you bitter.
Flip that.
That's
Yeah.
just, it's the spirit. It's the energy. This is just what I'm getting. And I could be
Absolutely.
wrong, but
And
when I watch it, that's just what I see.
And again, people look at this particular point where what Anton said, but again, you raising your voice at me as a man, like that's disrespectful too, especially if I'm a guest on your platform. Like, why we can't? It's okay to speak loudly. I think
we're
that's
having a
okay.
conversation. Men can get passionate. I get it. I understand.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, right.
But you could the words that he used. My mom used to tell me all the time, it's not what you say. Sometimes it's how you say it. And him saying what he said, though, in this particular instance, and how he said it was the problem. You kissing ass. So guess what? I'm kissing ass. Okay, I'm gonna take it to the sun, to the moon, to the stars. I'm gonna take it all the way. Since you want to go there, since you want to try to make me look bad on your show.
Turn that shit around. You suck a dick. Fuck kissing ass. We're gonna go all the
right.
way.
We're gonna go all the way there.
Yeah.
You trying to make me look bad on your show? You trying to make me look less than on your show? I'm not gonna allow you to do that.
Right.
We both men, and guess what? We could get passionate like you mentioned, but we could stop the disrespect. And Corey was wrong. I think at the end of the day, I think they both could have did certain things differently, but for Corey to not try to accept blame on this, take some blame for this, then I think it's wrong. But teach his own. This is just my humble opinion.
Right.
But anyway, let us know what you guys think inside of the comments. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Help us out so we can grow this channel bigger, so we can bring you more content, better content, etc. And we thank you guys for hopping on, even though I was a little late. I apologize again. But anyway, Cuzzo, any closing remarks?
Man, this a good thumbnail right here. You clipped that. But anyway, man, even though, man, we made it in, we made it on. So all good, man. Appreciate you, Cuzzo. Man, enjoy that extra day, that 3-day. And man, next time we gonna come in and we gonna do it better like ever. So appreciate y'all. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Tap in, comment, and let's get at it. Appreciate y'all.
Absolutely, man. I just wanted to say, firstly, shout out to you, Cuzzo. Thank you for bringing your insight to the show. It's always appreciated, and you come from a different perspective than I do. I might be the Corey Holcomb side, you know what I'm saying? But all jokes aside, man, I appreciate you, and I know this is for everybody. It is January 16th. In December, we said, I'm going to do this in 2026. I'm going to do that in 2026. It's going to be a new me in 2026. And I know some of us have lost the steam already halfway through this month. So I just want to say, if that's you, if I'm talking to you, don't lose steam, pick it up. We got goals. We got things to do. We got projects to complete. We got goals to meet. The us right now is going to be better a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 10 years from now, if we keep going. So keep going. And man, keep pushing. You got it. I promise you. You got it. Just take one step before the other, and you'll get there. Sometimes it's not that giant leap that you have to take. It's just one step at a time. So shout out to each and every one of you. We appreciate you. Again, please like, comment, and subscribe. And that's all we have today. Peace.